If you fish natural venues where microbarbed hooks are allowed, take a look at our new Acolyte pre-tied 6-inch hook plates. These hooks have been tied on Acolyte fluorocarbon, which is the most supple fluorocarbon we've ever produced. There's 3 patterns in the range that will cover the majority of fishing situations. Now, being 6 inches in length, these were originally designed to be fished with a pole. However, we're going to demonstrate today that you can fish these hook lengths with other methods too. We've come down to the River Trent today at Burton Joyce. It's the Ashfield Anglers section of the river, and we've been joined by our angling consultants Alan Scotthorne, Wayne Swinscoe and Tom Noton. Now, these 3 are experts on river fishing, and they're going to be using 3 different tactics with 3 different patterns of hooks. We've got Alan, who's going to be fishing with the Silverfish. We've got Wayne, who's going to be fishing a running line with a float using a Maggot Plus. And then we've got Tom Noton, who's fishing the gripper on a feeder. And during the session, we'll demonstrate just how versatile these new 6-inch microbarbed Acolyte hook plates are.
I'm out on the River Trent today, one of my favourite venues, and I'm fishing one of my favourite methods, stick float at distance, and I'm using a Maggot Plus 18 straight off the hook plates. Now, I've been using these Maggot Plus hooks since they've come out, and they're absolutely fantastic, and I've caught loads of fish on them. They're available in 4 sizes, from a 12 up to an 18. And being a Maggot Plus hook, we've slightly beefed them up, with a size 12 to 016, up to an 18 to 012. For me, these hook plates are perfect, not just for match anglers, but for beginners, pleasure anglers, seasoned anglers. They're so easy to use, virtually tangle free, and they come off the hook plate straight every time. Now, our hook plate system has been out quite a while now, and personally I've used them since they were first launched. Being a river angler, I don't mind admitting I got really excited when I received these prototype Acolyte microbarbed hooks. For me, this is going to save me a lot of time, using these hook plates straight out of the hook book. I choose a Maggot Plus hook when I think I'm going on a few better fish like big perch, chub. They just give me that extra confidence because they're a bit more beefy.
When I found out I'd been given the grippers to use today, initially I was thinking flat floats, bigger fish like perch, chub, but today I've decided to do something a little bit different. I've actually used these hooks on a feeder. These hook lengths are attached to 6 inches of fluorocarbon line, and 6 inches in length is obviously not quite long enough for feeder fishing. So what I've actually done today is made a boom out of some thicker fluorocarbon. I've used some 025 Acolyte fluorocarbon, and I've attached that 6-inch hook length on the end of it, just loop to loop. These hooks are available in 4 sizes, from a size 12 to a size 18. The size 12s are on an 017 and the size 18s are on an 014. So I'm on my favourite venue today, the River Trent, and I know this section quite well, and there can be some huge shoals of bream in this particular part of the river, so I fancied having a go at those today. So I've opted for a size 12 to 017 today. I'm thinking big hook baits like pieces of worm, double, triple maggot. We need the strength in the hook for those big fish. There could be bream, there could be barbel, there could be some big chub. Obviously, I needed robust tackle for this, and that's the setup I've opted for. For me, a few things I like about the grippers. Ultra sharp. The points don't bend over, which is fantastic when you're fishing on rocky venues like this. Can be quite challenging with snags and gravel bottoms. The hook point stays sharp. They're obviously microbarb, which I think when I can use them, particularly on natural venues, is a must. And the gauge of wire is perfect. When you're fishing for bigger fish like bream, there's quite a lot of weed out in front of me today. And when I'm pulling those fish through the weed, I like to know I've got a good hook hold, and that gauge of wire really helps with that. Now, although you can use them straight off the hook plates, I actually put mine straight into a 6-inch hook box. The hook plates come with stickers which highlight the size and also the diameter of the line the hooks are attached to. This keeps all my hooks really organised and helps me when I open the box. I've got all my hooks there, all in order, and it makes it nice and quick if I need to change a hook length. Life can be really busy for all of us at times, and having the confidence to use pre-tied hooks straight off the hook plate really does mean more time fishing, less time preparing.
I've been targeted today to fish with the Silverfish hooks. These are tied to 6-inch, and 6-inch hook length is probably one of the most used hook lengths, suited to pole fishing. Now I asked to be in this film because I've tied my own hooks for years, but when I've actually examined these hooks, they're tied fantastically well. The reason I tie my own hooks is because I want the hooks to be perfect every time and also straight in my hook boxes. Now that's exactly what you've got here. On the hook plate you've got a straight hook length with a perfectly tied loop, and the hooks are brilliantly tied. They're tied to fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon is just a fantastic hook length material. There's 4 sizes of hook in this range, from a size 20 that's tied to O10, an 18 that's tied again to O10, a 16 tied to O12, and also a 14 tied to O12. You've got to remember you're targeting silverfish, so the line diameters need to be kept quite low.
I knew today I'd drawn the short straw. They said to me, you've got to fish stick float. Look at the river, upstream wind, barely moving, bright sunshine. What chance you got of catching fish? First week of the season on the Trent normally is pretty poor, but I've surprised myself, we've caught quite a few fish. I've had some lovely roach, some pup chub, 1 or 2 perch, and bites pretty steady. I've really enjoyed it. Today I've used my favourite bit of tackle on the Trent, 15-foot Acolyte stick float rod, the plus version, which I can cast a long way today. It's a little bit deeper than I thought it was here. I haven't fished here for probably 35 years. I fished a little bit higher up there, but not here. And to be fair, years ago, these weren't really good pegs, but now there seem to be a lot of fish here. Best rig today for me, strung out shots, 18 hook to an 012 bottom, fished in about 7 or 8 foot of water. Most of the strung out shot has been in the bottom third, which gets it down pretty quick. I've tried off the bottom, but strangely enough, within bottom to within 6 inches has been the best depth. Best hook bait by a long way. I've fed maggots and casters, single bronze maggot. I've had some nice roach, 1 or 2 nice days, some chublets and 1 or 2 nice perch. It hasn't been solid, but it's been a lot better than I thought it'd be.
What a red letter day I've had today. The fishing's been absolutely fantastic, the weather's been glorious, and I've caught a load of bream. If we ever needed proof how good these hooks are, this is it. The grippers have been absolutely perfect for today's session. Big bream, it's been a little bit weedy out there, so having that bigger hook and stronger hook's been absolutely ideal. I started the session off in 12 foot of water, which is roughly down the middle of the river here, about 35 metres. And I fed some casters, some worms, a little bit of hemp, and I've basically alternated between worms and maggots on the hook. It's been as simple as that.
I started off with the general way to pole fish on the river now, and that's to ball it in with ground bait. Balling it in downstream, maybe 4 or 5 metres, so you can actually run a float over it. I've swapped around baits, I've tried casters, I've fed casters in the ground bait, and I've also loose fed hemp and maggots over the top. But the best hook bait's just been a single maggot, and just running down to the ground bait, I've managed to keep ticking over and catching fish. I set up just 2 rigs, one with a 0.8 float that I finished up just blocking the shot almost above the hook length. This is because there were a lot of fish available to start with. I was catching some dace and some small chub. So this allows the rig to settle really quickly, and I could catch fish regularly. But as the session's gone on, I've changed to a 0.6 rig strung out over the bottom part of the rig, which allowed me to run through nearer to the bottom, and I've also changed hook. I started with a Silverfish 18, but when the fishing became more difficult, I've dropped down to a size 20, and that's improved things dramatically. You've got to remember, this is the River Trent, and little hooks have always been good on this river. It's great to get out on any river at this time of the year, and catching double figures is just the icing on the cake.